The revolving door between DC and Wall Street is a tale as old as time, and in 2025, that door was refitted for the digital age. You're watching a special edition of CoinDesk Daily. I'm your host, Jen Sanasie. Utility or privacy? The transparency of traditional blockchains forces a difficult choice. Break free from this limitation with Midnight. Caroline Pham, the outgoing acting chairman of the Commodity Future Trading Commission, is officially heading to the private sector. MoonPay, the global crypto payments firm, announced recently that Pham will join as chief legal and administrative officer. It marks the end of a pivotal chapter for the CFTC. Under Pham's leadership this year, the agency launched its historic crypto sprint and a first-of-its-kind digital asset sandbox. But Pham's move isn't an isolated one. This year, we saw former CFTC Commissioner Summer Mersinger take the reins as CEO of the Blockchain Association. Meanwhile, Michael Hsu, the former acting comptroller of the currency, recently joined Core Innovation Capital to oversee fintech and crypto investments. The strategy for these firms, as the U.S. shifts away from regulation by enforcement, could be to hire insiders who worked on the new rules, not just lawyers. With the Genius Act for stablecoins now signed into law, having someone like Pham, who helped define regulation of digital assets, seems like a competitive advantage. But while the agencies are losing veterans, the Trump administration is aggressively backfilling those roles with high-level talent from the private sector. Call it the reverse revolving door. Case in point, Mike Selig. Selig is confirmed as the 15th chairman of the CFTC. Selig is a veteran of private practice who spent 2025 as the chief counsel for the SEC's crypto task force under Chairman Paul Atkins. And let's look at Chairman Atkins himself. Before the confirmation in April, Atkins was the CEO at Patamic Global Partners, advising the very firms he now regulates. We're also seeing a surge of tech force recruits, a new initiative by the administration to bring 1,000 private sector technologists into federal agencies to modernize legacy systems. And let's not forget, earlier this year, after 10 terms in Congress, former House Financial Services Committee Chairman Patrick McHenry fully transitioned into the private sector. Since retiring in January 2025, he's built a powerhouse advisory portfolio, joining Lazard, Andreessen Horowitz, and Ondo Finance as an advisor. And Silicon Valley insider David Sachs made the reverse jump from his seat at Kraft Ventures for a desk in the West Wing. Appointed as the White House AI and crypto czar in early 2025, Sachs has been the driving force behind the administration's AI action plan and push for a national crypto strategic reserve, operating as a special government employee, allowing him to maintain ties to Kraft Ventures. Naturally, this rapid exchange of personnel is raising eyebrows on Capitol Hill. Watchdogs argue that when the cop on the beat is a former defense attorney for the industry, the public interest might take a backseat to corporate growth. However, proponents argue this is exactly what modernizing governments looks like. That's it for this special edition of CoinDesk Daily. Get more updates on CoinDesk.com, and we'll see you next time. Break the cycle of exploitation, break down the barriers to truth, break into the next generation of privacy, break free. Free to scroll without being monetized, free from censorship, freedom without fear. We deserve more when it comes to privacy. Experience the next generation of blockchain that is private and inclusive by design. Break free with Midnight. Visit midnight.network/break-free.